There are also growing concerns over the fierce rise in threats facing elected officials right now. The New York Times is reporting that Capitol Police hired a team of lawyers specifically to build cases against anyone threatening members of Congress. Luke Broadwater is one of the reporters behind that reporting. He joins me now. Luke, you write that Capitol Police investigated, this is an astonishing number to me, 8,008 threat cases last year. That's the second highest total in the agency's history. What kinds of threats are we talking about, and how might prosecutors help?
Right. Well, it's really a wide gamut of threats, but what's become a staple of life on Capitol Hill for these lawmakers is their phones, emails, social media are nonstop ringing off the hook with people calling and threatening them. This happens whenever there's a controversial vote, whenever Donald Trump demonizes one of the lawmakers, whenever they become the target of a television program or radio host who goes after them, their phone lines will blow up with this. And oftentimes it moves beyond just calls. People drive by the house. You saw just recently someone started a fire at Bernie Sanders' office in Vermont. And so to try to combat this, Capitol Police have often refer the threats to the Justice Department. But what they've found is many times the threats are not prosecuted. And so they've taken this step of paying for their own prosecutors to be installed at 3 different offices around the country where they will specifically handle the threat cases that are referred to them by the Capitol Police.
So far, I understand 3 lawyers have been hired. Doesn't sound like a lot, right, when you're talking about more than 8,000 cases here, but is this just the beginning? What's the long-term plan?
Right, you're right. 3 lawyers can only do so much. So this is just a starting point. They hope to expand it to other offices. Already some lawmakers on the Hill are asking for it to be expanded. And of course, one of the things these lawmakers are doing is they've been designated by the Attorney General as experts on dealing with threats and how to prosecute threat cases. So they're doing trainings and briefings for prosecutors around the country to try to be sort of a force multiplier, so that no longer will they look at threats against members of Congress and say, you know what, that's not as important as a carjacking or a homicide. They will actually know how to put the pieces together, build the case, and hold someone accountable. That's
kind of where my question was going, because you've got an election that's like less than 8 months away. You have a lot of very heated races. I mean, how do police adjust to this heightened threat environment and sift through what can be noise, but you don't know necessarily when that one is going to be a threat to life, to property?
Yeah, it's a very difficult task for the Capitol Police. They spend a lot of time visiting people's houses, questioning them, trying to figure out who just got angry or maybe drunk and shut off their mouth one night, and who's really serious about intimidating a lawmaker. And so they spend a lot of time following up with people, questioning them. And even though they investigate 8,000 threat cases a year, the number of cases they actually refer to prosecutors to try to hold someone accountable is much, much smaller. We're talking about hundreds of cases, not thousands. And so those are the cases they really want to see prosecuted, when they think someone's gone beyond just getting angry and sending an angry email and is actually trying to intimidate a lawmaker to try to get at a political end. That's when it crosses into being a threat and being prosecutable.
Yeah, and maybe the prosecution sends a message to others. Luke Broadwater, a great reporting, and thank you. Appreciate you coming on the program.
Hey everyone, MSNBC has a new and improved app. You'll get real-time alerts and analysis, live blogs, in-depth essays, video highlights, and the best 2024 election coverage. Download the new MSNBC app. Here's how to do it. You tap on the App Store on your phone. You hit search on the bottom right corner. You type in MSNBC. You click on the MSNBC app. You click on Get or the cloud icon and enjoy it.